Sports are fucking stupid. They are conceptually the one thing that shouldn't exist. You're telling me that some random dude in a cave, instead of hunting food or sleeping, went, yeah, let's take a ball and kick it. Boom, soccer. And sometime later, another dumbass decided to take a ball and start bouncing it in holes other than his wife. Boom, basketball. As if handling 2 balls wasn't enough, we needed a third one. No one else does this shit. You don't see alligators competing in volleyball or gorillas dunking on Shaquille O'Neal. Sports are a very human thing. It's the only way we can entertain ourselves without killing each other. It's either playing golf or fighting in World War III. There's no in between. And combat sports are at the forefront of global entertainment. Nothing like watching 2 half-naked guys fisting each other, am I right? Wrestling, MMA, boxing, all of these sports bring out the inner competitiveness in us. That's what sports are meant to do, make us strive to be the best, fuel our ambitions, drive us mad with passion. But what happens when you combine the highly competitive nature of humanity with sports and Japanese anime girls?
I'm not gonna let her win!
Sports manga are the hardest to pull off. Getting a game-winning shot, suffering the most heartbreaking defeat, or driving past your own limits. These are things that you should experience, not watch. There's no dragons or magic to keep your interest. The world doesn't demand your intrigue, and most of all, the main character often isn't special. Most anime have arcs with stakes beyond belief, such as saving the world from a demon lord for the billionth time. Compare that to a bunch of kids playing volleyball in middle school. The realism of sports is what ultimately spells its own defeat in anime, and yet that very same realism can completely make it stand out among every other story, making it an enigma that captures your heart. The Boxer is one such story. 3 children, each unknowingly to them, represent a path to human excellence. One is born with no talent and must constantly work hard just to survive, getting constantly bullied. This is the path of honor. The other child is blessed with God-given talent. He excels at fighting and uses this to dominate everyone else. None can stand up to his abilities, and he is the one who constantly bullies the first child. This is the path to redemption. Yet, invisible to the public lies a monster. Someone who doesn't participate, doesn't feel anything, and simply takes what comes to him, good or bad, almost like a zombie. There is a world-famous boxing trainer on the hunt for a champion to train. He looks at the bully who has talent and realizes he found who he was looking for. And yet, just before he is about to make his final decision, he comes across the third child getting hit, and he sees something. Something he tries confirming, and to his credit, gets right. Indeed, he has found a monster. Someone with so much talent that is terrifying. Without hesitation, he extends his offer to train him in boxing. The next thing you know, he is destroying every competition he comes across. Good, evil, talented, or a hard worker, with ambition or without any ambition whatsoever. None of it matters when he is their opponent. All the while, he has no emotion in his face, and his trainer is mad with the idea of dominance. When you see all these differing characters, personalities, and backgrounds come up against him, you can't help but feel as if the person you are following is no longer the protagonist, but instead the literal wall in terms of personality and power that everyone else must eventually face. The Boxer is not a story, it's a statement. In most other sports manga, the coach and the contestant have a positive snowball effect where they bring out the best in each other to succeed. In The Boxer, the coach and the contestant bring out the worst in each other, and yet they still demolish their competition. It's as if the story is screaming that nothing matters as long as you have power to completely demolish anything and anyone that stands in your way. This is the message that the story begins with, but is far from how it ends. Remember the other 2 children I talked about? The bully and the bullied? Having lost, the talented kid gives up faster than my fucking thighs on leg day. But for the other talentless kid, loss is simply another normal day. While one spirals out of control and loses all he had to a single loss, the other grows slowly but surely like a tree. All the while we watch you demolish Discount Picasso, a biker gang, and Black Rock. Each character brings so much life to the table that their mere existence becomes irony. A man obsessed with perfection watches his perfect ass get handed to him only to realize that there are things much more important in life. A standard, hard-working hero gets confirmation on the fact that his efforts matter, regardless of whether he wins or loses. The 2 brothers, who are the incarnation of evil, realize goodness When they come face to face with the true devil, all of these characters look awesome. Their entire image is exactly as you would expect their personality to have: wild, honest, mad, or built different, when the main focus is complete and utter dominance from one very powerful protagonist. Somehow, it makes every other character stand out so much more. Even something as mundane as a cat ends up having its personality shine through. And this is not the consequence of the main character being bad, but rather, the both of them are incredibly compelling as well. K, the trainer, takes old man PTSD to a whole nother level. He's the kind of guy where you would have to worry about your life if you accidentally played Call of Duty with speakers on. All of this illustrated in the way he teaches you as if he's building the perfect object. He treats his opponents like Chris Hansen treats pedophiles, by crushing them face to face until they understand their position in life. The way the boxer writes and presents his characters is unlike anything else I've seen. They show the characters' way of living their life, and then they systematically destroy each and everything they know and watch to see if their way of life remains or evolves into something completely new. All of this wouldn't be possible without the insane art direction. From portrayed happiness to twisted faces of pleasure, all of it is perfectly illustrated in each panel. It's as if Beethoven and Picasso had a love child who became obsessed with boxing. The art is able to make mundane everyday sceneries into beautiful depictions of horror or happiness. It's able to keep your intrigue through sheer technique. People depicted as monstrous have this art style that screams at you, while people shown as kind envelop you only to fucking knock you out with their inevitable defeat, as if their character doesn't even matter in the grand scheme of things. This hopelessness is perfectly shown in the moment, and yet the art takes a complete 180 once the battle is over into a narrative saying that it mattered. Something you did, despite the loss, mattered. Regardless of the path you choose or represent, whether it be hope, arrogance, or boundless potential, despite how unfair the world might feel, at the end of the day, you will get exactly what you deserve. Isn't that the best we can hope for?